Hello everyone, my name's Kim, and if you haven't seen me before, I was a quadruple amputee that lost all 4 limbs because of sepsis. I had a double hand transplant this year and I wanted to discuss it. Now you might be thinking, she said she had a double hand transplant, she's only got one. Unfortunately, the right hand had to be amputated because I got very poorly after surgery. They think it was an extreme reaction because of the sepsis originally. And I was really, really poorly and they thought they were going to lose me. And it became a case of life or limb, and they saved me. And unfortunately, the hand didn't make it. So it had to be amputated. I lost blood flow to the hand and it had clotted, and that's why I lost the blood flow. So unfortunately, I didn't make it with that. But it was funny because I'd had a call. And then they phoned to say that it wasn't a match again. And then I got another call. And normally I always say, hello, yes, I'm fit and well. And she laughs the other end, the nurse. And this time I just said, hello, how are you? I wasn't thinking anything of it because it'd only been a couple of days since the last call. And I thought, I hadn't had calls for 6 months. And I told them I wanted to know when there was a possible. So they'd phoned me. Anyway, she then said, I'm fit and well, how are you? And I still didn't think anything of it. And I said, I'm fit and well. So she said, that's good. She said, we've got a match. And I'm like, really? Really? Are you sure? Are you sure it's a match? And she said, I had to say that as well. She said, I had to keep asking them because we've messed you around so much. I'd had, I think it was 17 calls at that point, and I think that was the 18th. And I was just like, wow. Really? So she said, yeah, how soon can you get in? And I think this was, I don't know, it was about maybe 8 o'clock in the evening. And I said, oh, I can be there between 10 and 11 tonight because it takes 2.5 hours from Milton Keynes to get to Leeds. So she said, yeah, that's fine, as long as you're here by 11. So I got there, my husband got me into my nightie and got me sorted out. And then he left. And then they took me for blood tests, they took me for x-rays and different ECGs and different things. Had all that done. Then I was allowed to go to bed and try and sleep. And I did sleep, surprisingly. And then I waited all the next day to be taken down. And I don't know for sure, but I think what the problem was the other organs, I think, were taken first. I think it's kind of in a priority of what goes first. And they were just having to wait for the hand to be kind of delivered to them at the hospital for me. And it got later and later. And so then they said, we'll have to do it in 2 stages. So what we will do, we will attach we will attach the bones and the blood tonight. He said, because that will take quite a few hours anyway. He said, and then tomorrow we will reoperate and we will attach all the tendons and nerves and everything else. So I said, okay, that's fine. I didn't wake up for another 3 days. By then it was Friday and obviously the weekend. So they didn't take me back to theatre till the Monday. So it was 6 days later before I ended up getting my second surgery. And unfortunately, like I say, they had to re-amputate the right arm. So I then lost more of my arm. So as you can see, it's quite short now compared to how it was before. This arm was always slightly longer anyway, but it's now kind of quite a bit shorter. I think I've lost a couple of inches, but no, it hasn't bothered me. It hasn't. I can't use my iPad and my phone quite as well as I could before. So I'm kind of learning where I can press on the iPad and the phone now. I'm kind of getting it slowly. I haven't got full use of the hand yet. I can open it up reasonably well. That's kind of about as much as I can open, and I can close into quite a tight fist. I can actually do a thumbs up now, kind of. It's a bit, I can't get that up straight yet, but eventually that will go up straight. But yeah, I can kind of do a thumbs up. My granddaughter's happy that I can do that with her. And I'm wearing jewellery again. I've got, these are just some cheap rings I bought in Claire's Accessories, just so that I could wear a ring for now. But my husband wants to buy me a new wedding and engagement ring. So I'm currently still wearing mine round my necklace, round my neck. But I think these are a little bit smaller than what the finger is, so I'm going to have to get new ones anyway, but he said he would buy me new ones, so why not? And I've got my Pandora bracelet back on, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm happy that I can wear my Pandora bracelet again. And so I'm wearing my watch on my right arm, and it may look the left and right differently to you, but the left arm is where the hand is, so I'm now left-handed. I've never been a lefty. I've always written with my right, but I've actually managed to write with my left hand, and I hold it in this grip. So the pen is kind of held like that and I write. It's a bit scruffy yet. I've only done 2 cards and I think I've signed my signature once or twice and that's about it. So it needs a lot of practice to get the writing neater and smaller because it's quite big as well. But in time, hopefully I'll be able to write neatly with it. But it's absolutely incredible. The team were absolutely amazing up at Leeds and they have really looked after me so well. They are just such an amazing team. And you may not realise, but with any transplant, the family has to be asked for consent. Now, I thought it was just because it was a limb. There's a shortage of limb donations. And it's not, it's all organs. So even though we've perhaps opted in, unless we've opted out, we're automatically in these days, but I signed years ago to say that I wanted to be an organ donor. The family still have to be asked for consent. So if it's something you would like to do, you would like to donate your organs and even a limb, please make sure your family know. Tell them today because tomorrow might be too late. If you don't tell them your wishes, they might just say no. And then that's it. But I tell you something, this is the best gift I have ever received in my life. I have longed to hold my youngest granddaughter's hand and my grandson's hand again. And I've actually done it. I've actually held her little hand for the first time. We've held hands and I could never do that because I didn't have any. She's only 5. I lost my limbs nearly 8 years ago. So it's the most amazing gift. I can do so much with this hand. I can brush my teeth, I can do my makeup, I can do my hair. I can't blow dry it yet because the hairdryer is a little bit heavy for me to hold. But I can brush it and I can do it. I have held an ice cream at the weekend. I have held a marshmallow on a stick and toasted it. I've never done that before. I actually went bowling and managed to push the ball down the ramp. I can't obviously hold it in my hand and do it, but maybe one day. And I've just done so many things. Oh, I even held a glass of wine at the weekend. Oh my goodness. Normally it'd be 2 stumps and try and pick it up really carefully and it'd wobble around. I picked it up, no problem. And I was sitting there holding this glass of wine. It's just absolutely incredible to be able to do things with one hand. This gift is the most precious gift I've ever received in my life. And I really, really hope that the donor family have some consolation that they have given the most amazing gift and their daughter, wife, whatever, niece, is living on in other people. You know, she will have given her heart and lung and kidneys and everything else. And she has saved so many lives, but she's saved me. This is it, and it's life-changing. It really is so life-changing. And I just wanted everybody to know that organ donation is something that we all need to be aware of and we all need to make our families aware of it. I lost all 4 limbs because of sepsis and it's coming up to my 8th anniversary of being put into a coma. I was in a coma for 9 weeks. I was in Spain at the time. 6 weeks of those were in Alicante before my travel insurance agreed to fly me home. And then I was flown home back to my local hospital in Milton Keynes and I was woken up 3 weeks later to be told all 4 limbs had to be amputated. And my response was to the doctor was, yeah, that's fine. How soon can you get them off? I couldn't lift them off the bed. It was just like somebody had super glued me down. And so I'm not stupid. I could tell that they needed to come off. So I was just like, yeah, let's get them off. Let's get on with life, you know. And I live life to the fullest. You know, I do things. I've done a parachute jump and I'm intending on doing a zip wire. That was going to happen this year, and unfortunately I didn't get to do it because something more important came up, and it will get done next year. But I've even got nails on, as you can see, and they are absolutely incredible. I'm absolutely loving these nails. They're through a company called Miyamura, and I buy from a lady called Jill Shaw, and you can search her out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Jill Shaw, Miyamura, so Miyamora. So I will put a link for the name of it on here so that you can see, and you can maybe go and search and find her. But they do lashes and everything as well. I can't actually put the, it's like a magnetic mascara that you put on, and then the lashes stick to it. They look incredible, but I can't actually do it. And my eyes are very sensitive, so I don't know if I'd be okay. They say they are, but I don't know if mine would, because mine are really funny. My skin is funny. But these nails are absolutely incredible, and I don't know if you can see, I've got 2 different sets on. I bought 2 different sets, and then I thought, why not switch them around? So I've got plain ones on the finger and index finger, and then on my wedding ring finger I've actually got a sparkly darker one, and on the thumb I've got the dark, can't see it that way, the darker sparkly one as well. So yeah, we switched them around, so they're lovely. Anyway, have a wonderful Christmas. I hope you're surprised by my wonderful news. I just think it's the most wonderful thing, and I just hope that the donor family maybe one day hear my videos and think, oh good, she's using her hand, and you know, we've helped her. And I hope they can hear the appreciation in my voice, because I am so appreciative of this. This is the most precious gift. It really is, and I am so grateful. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and there will be lots of videos coming up very soon. So thanks for listening. Take care.